Hello, welcome to Lemon Stew, so we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2 finale. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall you? I'm going to leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Lord of the Rings Season 2, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So here we are. Another ride done with Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Now, what can I say about this season that hasn't already been said? Is this season significantly better than season 1? Yes. Is this one of the top tier TV shows of the year, though? I will still say no. Now, there are a lot of things I did appreciate about this season. I liked how we expanded the lore, how, it felt more accurate from what was told to me in Lord of the Rings. I do like the character storylines that we went on. I like how there was more of a focus on, what was the steak, what was the potatoes, what were the greens, and, the steak was Galadriel and Sauron. The potatoes were Durin and the trolls, and then the greens were the men's storyline, because the men, I feel like, really took a back seat in this season, and I think this season was a strength because of that, because of all the storylines that are going on, and there are like 12 of them at this point. I mean, this episode alone felt like Return of the King with how many times it ended, because they're really wrapping up every single storyline. Is that the men is the one I'm least attached to. I think I'm more attached to Gandalf's storyline. We can now confirm it, which was also kind of a dumb reveal. If y'all let me vent about that real quick. Because, stranger Gandalf, he shows up. He chose his friends over training, and it turned out it was just a test that Bombadil was just like, okay, if he chooses his friends, I know he is a good guy, and then we can really get into the training. And he goes and finds his friends. Dark Wizard's there. He's like, yo, let's team up and fight Sauron. And Gandalf's like, nah, you want to be with Sauron. Hardfoots are there. He saves the Hardfoots because evil wizard makes them fall, makes the rocks fall, and he holds them on long enough for them to leave. And then the Hardfoots and the stranger / Gandalf go their separate ways. And as they are leaving, they're going by Grand Elf, something like that. And I was just like, oh god, this is how we do it. And then it shows up and goes, yeah, it's not where he just finds a stick, or Bombadil's going, it's not just where they find his stick, it's also where they find his name. And he's like, I'm Gandalf. I was like, okay. It was just a little too on the nose for me. I really preferred if Bombadil would have been like, yeah, you did good with your training, and then gave him the gray hat. Like, if he would have, he could have gone to the Hardfoots. He could have found his staff. They could have just gone their separate ways. I didn't need no Grand Elf. And then he goes over and he goes, oh, this was a test, wasn't it? And Bombadil's like, and you passed. And then he puts the hat on. We're like, oh, it's Gandalf. Like, to me, that would have been a much better reveal. But hey, we did what we did, and it was a little too on the nose for me. But I am glad that it's now confirmed, and I can go, okay, it's Gandalf. And he is one of the characters that I'm attached to. Back to my previous point that I was going to make, where I was talking about how the men is the storyline that I'm least attached to. It's because it's the one storyline where there's no characters that I know are from Lord of the Rings. And I think that is a crutch of the show. Now, granted, I should be able to pick up on the names now. However, as a viewer, I'm not fully, committed or caring to do that. I still don't know some of the names. Like, I know there's the Knight. And when I say the Knight, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. It's the guy with the majestic hair. It's the guy who's helping the queen, who should be the queen. And you're like, okay, yeah, I know which storyline you're following on. When I say the cool elf, y'all know exactly which elf I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Galadriel. I'm not talking about Elrond. I'm not talking about the king. I'm talking about the cool elf that's been hanging out with the men and really saving them. And the only thing that's making that storyline industry. But can I tell you his name? No. I couldn't. I know it starts with an A. I know I cannot pronounce it. And I just think, yes, that's on me. That I should be able to, wanting to care to learn the names, especially with the content that I am doing. Reviewing TV, reviewing movies. I should make it a point to make sure I know the names. However, I also think it is the show's job to make me want to give a damn to learn the character's name and not just the ones that I have come to know and love, and those are the only characters that I'm attached to. I am attached to Galadriel. I am attached to Elrond. The only one that I am attached to that is not part of the original Fellowship is Durin. Because the troll storyline, it's so intriguing. You know, the story of father and sons, and how, you know, you see your father has just gone to madness. I mean, I love the whole code open when he's going, all right, don't follow me. Whatever screams you hear, because he knows what he has to do. But then once he faces his father, he just goes, you're right, I can't face you. But then, you know, the creature that comes up during Fellowship arrives, and that's when the dad finally takes the rings off. He goes, okay, yeah, no, I went too far. And he goes to fight him, and his dad passed away. And then, like, once the dwarves actually do show up to the battle, and they go into Elrond, and goes, look, Durin's in mourning. And I just loved everything about that. And now that Durin's the king and he has the rings, what are we going to do with that? I am super intrigued when we get to season 3 to learn that. And that's with the character that is not a part of the original Fellowship. Now, he does have history, but you know, it's just one of those things. The Knight, he is the character that I am attached to when it comes to the men's storyline. And I am kind of interested in the love dynamic that is with his son's character. Again, I cannot tell you the character's name. I am interested in that. And I also like the dynamics of this little weasel that has such a big heel turn. And I want to say, episode 5? How he's going, oh man, we're really glad to see you and all that stuff. And then he goes, yeah, no, you could come along and you could bring other people along. And then once he challenged him, he goes, you know what? If it was my choice, your dad would be dead. I'm just like, dang! So I am curious to see how the men are going to go and see how it's going to elevate, because I do believe the men's storyline is going to be the stake. I think Galadriel and Elrond and Durin are probably going to be more the potatoes, and maybe the greens. You know, if we do a plate, A storyline is steak, B is potatoes, and then C is the green beans. You get it. And the green is going to be Gandalf. The reason why is because now that Sauron has the rings for men, and he really spent this whole first 2 seasons building up the dwarves and making sure they get corrupted, and the elves that they get corrupted, and forging the rings. Now it's about forging the men, and now Sauron, I think, is going to go travel to the land, give him the rings, and really, you know, play mastermind behind that, play puppet master, if you will, and see the fall of it. And I do think that is season 3. So again, overall, I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed this season. I am very much looking forward to season 3. Do I think I'm going to go week to week, though? I really don't know. Now, you know, we got 2 years until season 3 happens. So by that point, I'll be recharged, and we will probably do week to week reviews, because, you know, I do plan on still doing YouTube in 2 years. And then, sure, you know, maybe I'll go week to week. But as of right now, if I knew season 3 was coming like next year, I think I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch it on my own time. And then I'll do the whole review. Like, I'm at a point now where I still look forward to the show, but I am not like racing as soon as it airs out to make sure that I watch the episode. I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't need to watch it on Thursday. I can watch it on Friday. As the shows like House of the Dragon, I had to watch that Sunday. I did not want anything spoiled to me. It was a big race to make sure, okay, I am safe. The Boys, same thing. The Penguin right now is the same thing. Hell, even Agatha all along is doing that to me too, where I'm like, okay, it's Wednesday. I need to make sure I'm at home at 8 so I can watch Agatha all along. Not just because, you know, for viewership, it's just because I don't want anything spoiled for me, and I do want to like be surprised and watch the show as it goes along. With Rings of Power, I'm kind of okay. Like, I'm in no rush, and I think I should be in that rush. But what did you think of it? Leave a comment below and let me know. If you did make it this far in the video, leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it, and hit that subscribe button as we do look forward to season 3. But if you're into the Penguin, we're doing reviews for that. Hit the subscribe button for that. We do have Agatha all along. It is Halloween season. I think I'm going to do some, you know, retro horror movie reviews as well, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're into wrestling, we got Raw, SmackDown, Bad Blood is tomorrow. So look out for those videos as well. So hit that subscribe button for the journey that we are going on. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Limit Studios.